Hi, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a collective reading for Cancer for finance. Now, as it is a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages within this for yourself, please check your other placements. You may find a message in there. If you do like the message today, please hit that like and thumbs up. I don't know why I'm saying like and thumbs up button. It's the same thing. The like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe. It will help push out the messages to anybody that needs to hear them, and it will also give you notifications of whenever I post content. So your message today is a timeless message, but today is the 27th of July when I'm recording it, but it's whenever it falls into your feed is when it's likely to be relevant for yourself. Okay, so let's get into it. Spirit, can we get some cards for the collective of Cancer for their current financial circumstances? Now, as always, I'm not a financial advisor, so if you do want qualified financial advice on what you need to invest in, please go and seek that from a qualified professional. This is simply a message from Spirit to give you some sort of guidance and help with regards to your current financial circumstances. One more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, so the overall energy we have for the reading, we have got the Fool. So potentially, you could have an energy of irrational spending, potentially. Maybe you let your emotions influence your spending. It could also be that you may do a lot of irrational saving. Again, influenced by your emotions. So yeah, it's very much that at the moment you're doing one or of two things. You're either spending a lot or you're saving a lot, and you're being very influenced by your emotions. Maybe you're somebody that does a lot of retail therapy. It could be that certain emotions, you might be trying to suppress certain emotions and it's making you spend to try and suppress them. Maybe you are spending on drinking, maybe you're gambling, maybe you're doing other things, spending out to try and avoid certain things that you might need to be thinking about. So that's what we've got for your overall energy. Now, in your current position, we've got this Knight of Cups. Now, that is in a challenge position. Now, that Knight of Cups is telling me that you struggle to make decisions from your head with regards to your finances, quite possibly because you've got this energy of overspending with regards to your emotions. Again, it could be that you're saving with regards to your emotions. Maybe you have got I don't know, maybe you've got something where you're all of a sudden you're panicking maybe, and you think you need to be saving all your money for the future in case you don't have enough. It could be a number of things. Normally I get the impression that it's always about overspending, but something's telling me that you might be going into panic mode and hoarding your money instead. I don't normally get that impression from this. It's the first time I properly had that impression. So it could very well be that some of you out there are worrying about what the future's going to bring you, and you are starting to hold on tight to any money that you've got coming in. So maybe you're cutting down on your spending quite a lot. And this Knight, again, could be suggesting, it is a bit of a struggle to make decisions because you're constantly overthinking. Maybe you're constantly thinking about, the future and how you need to save a lot of money, but you might have certain things that you really want to buy from the heart or invest in or spend in. It could even be that you want to spend on other people, and that's like an emotional wanting to buy, but you've got your head overthinking so much that you don't want, you're in panic mode. You don't want to overspend because you're too worried about not having enough for the future. Okay. So to clarify that then, we've got a High Priestess that's come out in a challenge position. We've got the Tower in the reverse, and we also have a Wheel that came out in the reverse. So that High Priestess then is telling me that you do find it quite challenging to spend wisely. You're also potentially not necessarily giving to charities. again, you may find that quite challenging. So maybe it's something where you want to give, but because you're stuck in this panic mode, you're not able to give like you'd like to. It's also making you think very strictly about how you're spending your money. The Tower is suggesting that this could potentially be something to do with, you may have lost some money recently, or you may be looking at investing in something, but you need to be making sure that whatever you're investing into has got really good foundations, so it's not going to be too risky. It could be that in the past you may have lost money on risky investments, and that could be what's put you into panic mode. But this is telling me as long as it's got good foundations, as long as there's something stable behind it, it should be okay. So yeah, if you have put your money into something a bit risky at the moment, there is the possibility that you could lose a little bit of money, which could be, like I say, what's drove you to go into this whole hoardy kind of mode. Now the Wheel of Fortune is telling me that you're not actually spreading your investments either. So whatever it is that you're doing, you are not spreading it around. So maybe you're holding on to everything as tightly as you can because you're scared that you're going to lose money, or you have lost money in the past, and it is causing massive influences on you at the moment. So you're really overthinking when you're doing any decision where it comes to money, trying to make sure that it is the best possible outcome for you. Now, in your blockage, we have this 9 of Cups. That 9 of Cups is telling me that at the moment, you don't feel like working hard is paying off. So you don't feel like you're getting the recognition for what you're doing. You don't feel like you're getting the money for what you're doing. It doesn't feel like it's paying off to you. So even if you are scrimping and saving, you don't feel like you've got enough. It's like you've not got quite enough that you need. It's not really feeling to you like you've got what you need to survive, or you just don't feel like it's enough. It's like you might be looking at your bank account and it might be trickling up slowly, but to you it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Let's get clarification on that. At some point I will have a better angle as well, as a bit closer to the cards. I'm still trying to work out the best angles to put my new camera, so I do apologise if this one's not particularly the best, especially in the day. Okay, I didn't spot that we had 2 cards pop out there. So we had the World card come out first, and that came out in a challenge position. We then had the 5 of Cups and the King of Swords come out in the upright, and then to top it off we had that Judgment come out in the upright as well. So that's all clarifying that 9 of Cups. Now the World card then, so again, it's very much a case of you're finding it challenging to be productive. So not only are you not feeling like that money's paying off, you don't feel like it's a challenge for you to be productive, possibly to save, possibly to earn, and possibly to invest in things. So it could very well be that you don't feel like your savings are paying off. It could be that you don't feel like whatever you're doing work-wise is giving you the money that you need. So maybe you're overworked and underpaid potentially. And it is very much suggesting to me that you're finding it quite struggling to see the payoff from whatever it is that you're currently doing. The 5 of Cups is telling me that you do feel like you are on your way to achieve your goals, but it's just slow moving. So you know that it is going to get better. It's just you're just waiting for it. It's like you're currently on a lull and nothing. It doesn't feel like it's moving, but you know that it will get better eventually. The King of Swords is telling me that you are also taking quite a tactical approach to things. Again, possibly because you've gone into panic mode and you're doing a lot of overthinking with regards to what you're spending out on. So this King of Swords is telling me that, you know, you are taking a very practical approach. You're keeping your standards high as well. I mean, these are all blockages, which is quite amazing actually, because they're quite good. So I mean, it's more likely the fact that, you know, that you keeping your high standards and feeling like things aren't really moving forward. You know that it's going to move forward, but it just feels like it's not. You're fully aware that you're being stuck. So that's, to me, it's the slowness of it that seems like it's what's causing you the issues at the moment. That's more the blockage. Again, the Judgment card is telling me that you're aware that finances will get better at some point. And that it's telling you that you need to make sure that you don't spend more than what you earn. So potentially that could be something that you may struggle with again as well. Possibly that's why you're doing a lot of overthinking, because you've had that financial loss with something in the past that you've invested into. Now, these blockages are pretty much telling me very much that your main blockage is the fact that you're either you don't feel like your money's coming in quick enough. You're not getting what you need quick enough. So you're possibly, like I say, possibly in panic mode because you're saving. Like I say, it could also be that you are overly emotionally spending. So you're trying your hardest to not get into more debt. You know, if you are in debt, you're probably really struggling to keep out of it because you're just not earning enough. And it's just going too slow and you feel like things just aren't improving for you at the moment. Now, your core belief that's contributing to that, we've got this Three of Wands. Now, your Three of Wands is telling that you do need to, it's saying that you believe that you need to be investing. So, again, this is contributing to, you know, possibly your overspending, or your current state, because, again, we've got about investments being solid and not risky. So you do feel like you do need to be investing. This could be time, your energy, you know, or even your money. It doesn't have to be just money related. So it could be that you're aware you need to invest in a job. It could be that you're aware that you need to put your energy into learning something, or, you know, in order to progress in a job. It could be any number of things. It could be simply that you're aware that you need to be investing your money into something to make it work for you. Let's get some clarification on that Three of Wands. I'm not taking half a deck, Spirit, just one card, please. Okay, so we've got the Empress in the reverse. We've got the Justice card. And we have the Four of Pentacles, all to clarify that Three of Wands. Okay, so that Empress in the reverse then is telling me that you mainly focus on little objectives. You're not looking at the big picture. It's also suggesting to me that it could be that you're going for little objectives. It could very much be that you've got the big picture in mind, but you've not set your mini objectives to get yourself there. So it could be that maybe you've set in your head, you want to save £100,000, you know, or dollars in America, or whatever your currency is, euros, you know, you want to save that much money, but you've not got how you're going to get there, you know, you don't know. You're just hoping that it's just going to appear in your bank account, possibly, or maybe you're putting things like the lotteries on, hoping that it's just going to come in as a windfall, but you're not putting any practical steps into place. So maybe you've not considered, you know, do you need to get a second job? Do you need to change your current job? Are there any other things that you need to, you know, you could cut down spending on in order to make that? you know, and putting yourself practical steps there and setting yourself mini objectives to get to that goal. It does seem to me very much like you're either doing, you know, the big picture, or you're just looking at mini objectives. So it could be very much that where you just go in, I know that in future I'll be able to have massive loads of savings. All I need to do is this. And you're doing that one thing, and then you're going, oh, why isn't the money appeared? You know, because you're not giving it enough time. You're not waiting for it to follow through. So it could be that you're looking at things going, if I get a new job where it pays me, I don't know, £2,000 more a year, I'll be able to put all of that money into savings, but you're forgetting to take the tax, the national, you know, or all the things that the government take off you into consideration. You're forgetting what you're actually going to come out with from that 2,000 a year. You're not doing your sums, your calculations. You might sit there and think, okay, over a year I can save £2,000, but it's not materialised that way, because by the time you've had everything taken out of it and you get that money coming to you through pay, you're likely to be closer to £1,000, you know. So it's like you're just narrow-minded going after one little thing and not considering everything else that goes behind it. So it's either way round for you. Some of you will be one way, some of you will be the other. So the Justice card then that I'm throwing around, that Justice card then is telling me that you feel like a lot of opportunities might be a bit too risky. Again, it's quite possibly because of something that's happened, because of certain things not being a particularly solid foundation, and you might be feeling like you can't really invest into something at the moment because it's you don't want high risk. And if you do want high risk, you're going to do a load of calculations into it beforehand to see whether it actually is worth it. But what you might do is you might just do that calculation and not then consider what's going to happen if it doesn't pay off. You know, you might be looking at the end game of that calculation. It could be something where, I don't know, say you go in, there's a football match on and you put in on a bet for a particular team. They're the underdogs, you know, 10-1, whatever it is. You put a bet on expecting them to come out on top because you see it being, and you put a large sum of money down on it because you've got the impression that they're going to win. It's a risky bet because it's 10-1, you know. And then it's like you've got all your hopes and dreams planned on that one thing, but then it doesn't materialise. They lose, and you lose your money. You know, it's very much of not thinking it through properly. So with the Empress in the reverse, it's telling me that you're doing things, you know, but you're not fully considering every outcome that can come along with it. You're not preparing for all the objectives. The Justice card is telling me that you are just, you know, you're looking at making those risky opportunities and you're doing the calculations, but you might not be considering all of the possible outcomes. You're looking at the best outcome only. Now, we've also got this Four of Pentacles. That Four of Pentacles is telling me that you're very scared of financial loss because you think that financial loss will also mean that you're going to be lonely. So you're scared of losing out on money, which could have a lot to do with what this Tower is at the top about, how you are feeling that, you know, things need to be supported. So you could very much be not wanting to invest because you're scared that you're going to lose all your money and people are going to leave you. It does tell me that you do need to remember what's important with life, what makes you happy, what makes you, you know, what drives you. And you do need to try and also think that if people are only around you for money, you know, and what kind of person are they? Because they can't be very nice people if they're only around you for your money, you know. To me, that's just like they're complete users if they just want you for your money. So you might have a very active social life and think that you're going to be lonely if you haven't got money to be going out and socialising all the time. But if you've got good friends, you don't need to be spending money with them. If you've got good family, you don't need to be spending money on them all the time. I know some people that, for some weird reason, whenever their family comes round to visit them, they feel the need to put on a load of, like, I don't know, they like go and make cakes and biscuits, and they put on a big spread every time somebody comes to visit them, even if it's just for an hour. Now, to me, why? They're coming to visit you, they're not coming to eat your food. You know, so it's very much of, why do you need to have that added expense? It's silly. They're not coming for your money. They're coming to visit you as a person, not to make sure that you're cooking for them, you know, because half the time what used to happen is, you know, they used to bring the stuff into work because the family didn't eat it that come to visit them, and they'd have loads of leftovers, but they didn't want to eat it themselves. And you're like, well, why are you doing it then? You know, it's completely stupid to me. But that's something that she was brought up learning. So it's very much of, you know, there are people, I understand if you are somebody that does that, but if you've got people that around you that do that all the time, why do you let them? You know, it should be that they're coming for you, not for, it's you that they should be, how do I put it? If you've invited them around for dinner, that's different because they're expecting to come for dinner. People shouldn't be expecting you to give to them for no reason without you offering it. You know, it should be something that you're having, that you offer, not just being expected all the time. So if you've got people that are only around you because they expect you to spend money on them, and that's the only reason they're there, then, you know, they're very low vibrational kind of thing. It's completely up to you if you accept that, but it says a lot about them, you know, and you can probably do a lot better and make genuine friends and, you know, hang around with genuine people that aren't like that. There's a lot of people out there that are not interested in your money. You've just got to find them if you haven't found them already. Right, so something to help you improve your situation then, we've got this Seven of Pentacles. Now that again is in the reverse. So the Seven of Pentacles is telling me that there is certain decisions that you may feel you might need to rush into, okay? There are certain things that do need your immediate attention. And as much as, I mean, the Seven of Pentacles, when it's in the upright, it's telling you to not rush into any decisions. This is telling me that you need to make a hasty decision on something, but you need to make sure that you're doing it in a rational, non-emotional way, that you're making sure that you are doing it, you know, for your best good. Let's get some clarification on that. Just lost half a deck. Different deck, mind you. Sorry, I keep going to moving all my cards different places to shuffle them. I keep forgetting that it goes really echoey down the mic. One more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Now she's telling me that you've got nothing to worry about with regards to money. That your money's there. That it will keep coming in. We've got this Page of Wands that came out in a challenge position. But yeah, so that Queen of Pentacles, like I say, she's very much saying that, you know, money's not going to be an issue. If you make the right decision, money will never be an issue for you. The Page of Wands coming out in that challenge position is telling me that you might need to look at going on a holiday. It could be quite challenging to try and invest into a holiday, but it's suggesting that maybe you might need to go on a trip potentially. Might not be a holiday, might just be some sort of trip that will help you learn about money. Maybe you need to go to some sort of, I don't know, maybe there's different, I'm not somebody that's big on money, but I'm sure there's probably different conventions and different places that talk about different investments and, you know, learning about different things like that. Excuse me. It could be that you might need to just take some time out for yourself. Have a bit of a relax, have a bit of time to yourself. The Ten of Cups, oddly, again, that's come out into a challenge position, is telling me that you need to remember that, yes, your money may have a good effect on other people. However, you need to be making sure that, you know, you're only including them on your terms. So you don't have to give to people all the time. You know, again, like I'm saying here with this Four of Pentacles, it's something where you need to be doing it on your terms. Yes, your money will have a good effect on them, because if somebody is getting gifts, it will make them happy. But when they're constantly expecting things, you know, that's where the challenge comes in, because people that expect things are never going to be happy with what they get. They will just expect it constantly. It won't matter what you give them, how much you give them, they're never going to be grateful for it, because they just expect it to be given to them. So it's very much a, you know, making sure that when you do give to people, it is on your terms, and it is something that's not necessarily expected. Okay, it might be a challenge, because you, from the look of it, you may have been giving to people in the past that may now be expecting things. So it's potentially holding it back and realizing that actually having that gift is something nice, you know. So trying not to give trying not to give to people that are expecting, and it could be quite challenging. You might have some people around you that could make that quite challenging for you, especially if they're used to receiving all the time. Now, if you do manage to navigate these lovely obstacles and improve your finances, my assumption is part of the decisions you've got to make is who you're giving money to, or what you're spending your money on with regards to other people. And if you make that decision wisely, you know, if you potentially stop spending money on people that are expecting it all the time, you won't have an issue with your finances, because you're going to have all that extra spare cash. Now, if you manage to navigate that and you increase your finances and you do all that to help, you will have this King of Pentacles as an outcome. Now, he again is in a challenge position, so it is going to be a challenging outcome, but that challenging outcome is stability. Okay, so it could be a little bit challenging for you to understand that you are stable. Maybe you think that you need more for stability, because up here you're so used to thinking that you haven't got enough, that you're not getting things your way. You know, that is your main blockage, but it could very well be that you are not recognising the stability that you do have. But yeah, it is telling you that your outcome is stability. So let's get some clarification on that. So financial stability, yeah. Get 2 more cards, please, Spirit. Okay, so we've got the Death card. We have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. And we have a King of Cups in the upright. So that Death card then is telling you to try not to be, you know, try not to despair too much. You may feel like you're unstable. However, if you are managing your funds correctly, you're more stable than you feel like you are. Okay, so it is very much telling me that as long as you're managing your funds and you're thinking about what you're doing and what you're spending your money on, you don't have to worry about feeling unstable, because you are stable. So stop worrying so much. You've got more going on for you, and you're doing better than you think you are. This is just a state of mind, and you may find it quite challenging to break out of that, especially where in the past, and you know, your blockage is telling you don't have enough. It looks like you've got some very challenging people around you as well, but stopping spending out on them, you know, making that decision to change that behaviour that you've got towards other people, spending on them, making sure that you are only getting, you know, spending on things that you find important to you. you know, it's very much of, you may feel like things are going slow and like things aren't going to improve, but try not to worry too much, because it will improve. You need to stop worrying that you're not going to be stable, because this King of Cups is telling me that you will achieve your dreams. It's just that you feel like it's not stable. Again, possibly because of this fall. Remember how I was saying at the beginning that you might be in panic mode, thinking that you've not got enough money, you're going to be you've lost something. You're trying to hoard as much money as you can for the future. Again, you've lost money. You're then trying to hold on to it. You're trying to build it up. It don't feel like it's going anywhere. This is telling me that it's you're doing better than you think you are. Okay, so you just need to allow yourself to realize actually you're in a good place. You're not in a ton of debt. I mean, even if you are in some debt, you're managing that debt at the end. So it will improve. It might take some time, but it will improve. So stop feeling like you're not stable, because you have got some stability at the end. But that is going to be a bit challenging for you to get your head around that. But it's maintaining that whole managing your finances. One slip and yes, it could feel like you're not stable, because you might go, oh God, I've overspent on something, So it's keeping on top of that, managing your finances, changing that habit. So if it's something you weren't doing properly before, keeping on top of that habit of doing it will help you in the long run to get that stability and maintain it. Okay. Now we're going to pull an Angel of Abundance card for you as well, to see if there's any more messages that Spirit would like to convey. And then after this reading, I suppose I've got to pick up half a deck that hit the floor. It clearly wanted to be involved in the reading. That's all I'm going to say. But I don't think I want to read half a deck. The one card that's turned upwards is a Queen of Swords. So if you want to know what that one is, it's telling you to get clarity on investment opportunities before you make any massive decisions. So lots of seeking clarity, doing your calculations properly, including all of the positives and negatives. Right, so your Angel of Abundance card then, let go of guilt. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. So to me, that suggests that maybe you are constantly telling yourself off for things that have happened in the past, possibly to do with some sort of financial loss. Maybe you have not invested into something where you possibly could have, and you've lost out on money that way. But it's telling me that you need to forgive yourself. You need to let go of that bit of guilt, and you will start having more positive outcomes. Right, well, I hope that has helped some of you Cancerians, knowing what you've, giving you some advice and some tips with regards to your current financial situations. If you did like the reading today, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed, be wonderful if you could. You'll get notifications of whenever I upload more content. If you do give it a thumbs up though, it will help pass it on to any other people that need to hear the message. Good luck, and thank you for joining me.